This is The World on Bernama TV. Stay with me. We'll come back and talk about EV or the progress of EV vehicles in Malaysia. I'm Gerard RATNAM. This is The World on Bernama TV. Stay with us. Hey, welcome back. We've got Azam here. Now, electric vehicles are becoming a big focus in Malaysia, but there are still many questions about how prepared we are. From the price of EVs to the number of charging stations, these issues matter to everyone. Today, we take a closer look at where Malaysia stands. I'm joined by AZAMUDDEEN AZMAN. He's part of our English team. He's helping with production, and he also does a bit of research on his own. And hopefully, he gives us a snapshot of the challenges and progress so far. Hey, thanks for doing this, bro.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you here. Now, you've been doing a lot of reading up this week while not working about EVs. You've been doing a lot of research on that. Now, apparently in Malaysia, we've been making headlines with the big push for electric vehicles, incentives, new models, even a potential price war, or at least that's what's being talked about now in Malaysia. But what does all this mean for the everyday consumer in Malaysia and people outside Malaysia? And the bigger question is Malaysia really ready to go electric by 2040?
Well, thanks, Gerard. It's nice to be here, actually. It's a great opportunity. So when we talk about how does EV means for everyday consumers, and also what does it really mean to go electric by 2040? So, Gerard, Malaysia's push towards EV is actually delivering tangible benefits, actually. So locally assembled models, as we know, Proton EMAS and also the recent Pro 2.
Apparently the EMAS is doing really well. Huh?
Yeah, it's doing really well, actually. So these upcoming models, which are produced locally, definitely helps with the affordability for consumers, for local consumers to buy EV cars. And it will definitely help with the country moving towards electric cars by 2040. However, Gerard, there's a big question here. What about the foundations in terms of infrastructures, in terms of policies, and also in terms of government support, industry supports, and academic support in the industry? So we will visit that later on with other questions.
Now, apparently, or rather, if you read a lot of what's happening in Malaysia, you know that Malaysia wants to be a regional hub for EVs. What does this mean for the country and the people of Malaysia? And I guess going back to question one, how ready are we at this point?
Okay, so Gerard, it's not just about cars, actually. It's not just about EV cars. Malaysia is actually building a high-value industrial ecosystem where it's actually creating more job opportunities in terms of high-skilled labor and also in attracting investments and driving innovations in our country. So while making EV accessible for general consumers, it also relates heavily with the business and economic standpoint. So recently, as we know, the country roadmap to EV cars is actually through National Policy 2020, where it is directly related to the National Energy Transition Roadmap.
Yeah, the NETR.
Yeah, correct. So Proton and also Pro 2 recently launched its assembly line in Perak, which is what Proton did to help reduce the cost of production and also encourage more skilled labours and technological developments in our country. While Pro 2's EV's development, which is producing their first EV car, definitely helps with the consumers in purchasing affordable EV cars that is not too heavy on their pockets.
Right. So, because this is an international bulletin, there are two things here. So there are two automakers in Malaysia, Pro 2 and of course Proton. And Pro 2 has been very quiet about this EV car. It's been very incognito. They're moving around, showing us what the charger will look like, showing us what the tire will look like, or what the car will eventually look like. But no one's heard anything about it as of yet. We've seen little glimpses of it, but we don't know what it's going to look like. Having said that, Proton has already launched its EMAS 5. So it started with the EMAS 7. They're now having that EMAS 5. Apparently, last night when I did a check, they already have 10,000 bookings down pat, 7,000 already sold. So they're doing pretty well too. And having said that, charging is key for EVs at this point. Now, how good is our charging network, or how well are we keeping up, and what's being done to make it reliable nationwide? So we know in KL, just outside KL, where I come from, that little town called Seremban, Ipoh, we're all okay. But moving further north or further south, are we getting better infrastructurally?
Well, Gerard, to be honest, Malaysia's EV charging points are definitely expanding. So it's not quite as rapid compared to the EV growth market, actually. All right. Right now, as we know, the statistics that I found is that 5,000 charging point is actually in and around nationwide. So the government is actually targeting by the end of this year, we would have 10,000 chargers. This would help with what you were saying just now in terms of the development in the rural areas. So what does the government do in terms of helping this measure? So there are actually a few things where the government have been...
Wait, hang on. So you're saying that we've got 5,000 chargers now, and we want to try to move up to 10,000 chargers. Correct. But I think the two big ticket goals that we need to work towards, and this is just me thinking aloud, is we've got Chinese New Year coming up. So people want to be traveling during Chinese New Year. Correct. That's happening in 2026, early 2026. And then there's the big celebration, Aidilfitri. There'll be a huge exodus. So during Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year and Raya or Aidilfitri, there's usually a huge exodus. People buy new cars and people travel up north and south. Do you think we will have that up and running by then? At the 10,000 chargers? And the bigger question is, are 10,000 chargers enough at this point?
Well, answering to your question, with the upcoming Chinese New Year and also Raya that's coming up, it's definitely a big challenge for the government in meeting that demand. So, if you ask me, personally, with the numbers of investments that are coming in and also the numbers of developments that are happening, the 10,000 chargers are definitely enough to cater with the number of EV cars that are on road right now. So based on the data that I found, so EV cars only makes around 5.73% as compared to petrol cars right now. So by 10,000 chargers, it's definitely going to be able to cope with that.
Right. So there are two questions Malaysians are asking at this point, and I think people across the region, they're also asking the same question. Are EVs truly affordable, and can they work for daily life? I myself am thinking of getting an EV, but I'm not quite sold on it yet. So, and you're a guy who drives a lot, you like cars, you do a lot of reading up on this. What's EV telling you?
So, it's recorded that in terms of the EV cars itself, in terms of affordability, the investments and the policies being done by the government itself in terms of production of EVs, in terms of infrastructures, and in terms of collaborations with other parts of businesses and local and also private equities, it will definitely help with ensuring that EVs can be sustained. So it plays a huge role with all these investments in ensuring EV users to have the adequate amount of support and also the adequate amount of the right pricing that is tangible and aligned with the current economic income and also disposable income.
So when you say the disposable income and the current economic income, economic outcome, I think, they're about industry, jobs, they're also about economy. Now, how are government, industry and academia working? Can they work together, or are they working together at this point to make, I guess this transition needs to be successful if it's going to be a transition.
Correct.
What do you think?
All right. So how does the government, industry, and also the academia working alongside together. So from the government side, actually this is highly related with the recent imported tax for EV vehicles. This is highly towards imported EV vehicles only. So the tax is actually ending by the end of this year. So this, in the long run, would help with the local development.
The tax holiday that we have right now,
correct.
so buying cars cheaper. So that's going to end this year.
Correct. That is specifically for for imported EVs actually. But for local EVs, the tax remains. So this encourages local people to buy EVs, to buy local EVs, which is from Proton and also Produa, which is more
But do you think we should be doing that? We've done that all the time, protected local cars, and which means those of us who can't afford it have to go out and buy local cars instead of having a choice or having options. So, as a car user and as someone who reads fervently about these things, what are your thoughts on this?
So my thoughts is that
I like choice. I like to be given a
you prefer choice.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I'm a guy that looks at the financial part of things. So to me, having an affordable EV car is much better in terms of monthly repayment actually. So having a monthly repayment that is adequate to my income would help me to spend a lot more on other things as well.
Right.
So but I still can enjoy having an EV car. I still can enjoy, let's say I'm using a Produa.
Right.
It's still the same that as I'm doing a Tesla.
Yeah, but I don't have a choice. I need to buy a Pro. So that's another conversation we're going to have at some point when I bring him back to verbally joust once again. Now, as one Malaysian auto commentator on TikTok put it, for years we were told by Japanese manufacturers that at a certain price point or certain price points we should settle for basic interiors and pay for reliability. But China's entry into Malaysia has blown that logic wide open. They've shown that an everyday buyer can now afford a car with real comfort, real features, and even a touch of luxury. And that disruption is reshaping the EV landscape here. That's all the time we have for now. Don't forget to visit Bernama.com and follow us on our social media channels, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook for the latest news. This has been The World on Bernama TV. I'm GERARD RATNAM with AZAMUDDEEN signing off. Thank you very much for staying with us right here on Bernama TV. Did I get the name right?
Yeah.